world is going through a huge transition right now, and many of you are feeling a sense of pressure present in the collective consciousness. A split is happening between 3D consciousness and 5D consciousness. And the biggest change truly is in sensing. It is in sensing and knowing. It is going from the forceful energy of egoistic movement and linear time perception and fear and control, duality and separation, and all the materialistically focused society. We're slowly moving into higher awareness, which means that you're beginning to realize that there's a profound sense of interconnectedness and unity awakening within your being. And you're noticing the connection with all the space around you, the connection with the universe, and you're sensing a presence of intelligence that is moving through you. It's not your intellect and it's not your logic, it's the higher intelligence that guides you through life. And many of you are noticing that this sense is becoming louder. It is speaking to you louder. And to those of you who are listening to it and acting upon it, you're moving on with the split. So the split that is happening by a will of each individual. You can choose to stay attached to the material life. You can choose to stay in ego-driven society or social structure or collective will. You can choose to stay in fear-based consciousness, or you can choose to let go of that and notice that each fear is like an empty balloon. It's, it has a shell, but when you blow it, you notice it was empty. It was only filled with air. And when you tap into your fears, you notice it was just misunderstood part of you. And when you start to understand yourself better, you notice that you could live your life so much more meaningfully. You could take better choices. You could take different paths. You could learn from others. You could actually do what those you're admiring do. And all these different perceptions take you on a different path. And you start noticing, okay, if I really want to change, I need to start becoming that new me. And that's where you start noticing the biggest interconnectedness. You start noticing the mystery of time. You notice, well, if time doesn't exist and all there is this present moment, then with each step that I make or take in my life, I am actually changing. If I can envision a new me that is more evolved, more ascendant me, you're actually looking into a higher dimensions of ascension, where there is ascended master of you already present in this present moment. And more you're becoming it in your life, more you're ascending, more you're shifting. And as there are levels to dimensions, more you're becoming connected to this more evolved you, more that evolved you is guiding you. So this is a movement that is happening right now, and collective society, at least a part of it, is beginning to notice that there is no separation either. There is no separation. So when you look around you and you see other people, you see other yous in different bodies, with different histories, with different stories. But on a higher level, there is source that has kind of expressed itself in infinite different ways, manifesting in infinite different bodies, but it's one source. So to those of you who are ascending right now and splitting, you're noticing that every single individual you meet in your life, they are just another extension of that source. And how can it help you on your journey? Well, a lot, because you're noticing that they are mirroring you. The source works the way that it makes sure everything stays in balance. So mirror effect has everything to do with balance. This principle understands that when you project certain force onto others, others will project the equal force back to you. So let's say you use a force of fear onto others because you want to manipulate them. They will use the same force of fear then back to you. So you would experience how it feels when you do this to others. You can experience that when you're angry towards someone, and they will immediately start protecting and projecting their anger back to you. Now, when you begin to understand that you're actually ascending into the source level of consciousness, slowly but surely, you're also beginning to realize that in order to ascend, in order to shift, you need to make sure that every single day you're becoming more of this ascended master in your life. And who is the ascended master, if not the ultimate manifestation of the source? Like the source would manifest itself into a being, and that being would choose to experience life in a physical form. Who would you be if you would already know that you are this ascended master? Who would you be? How would you think? How would you feel, and how would you behave? What choices would you make? What decisions would you take? What changes would you embody? And what would you let go of? What would you surrender to? And soon you realize, well, what is higher than fear? And what's the attitude I could have towards others if I truly come from the source? And you kind of start thinking as an ascended master. They are all me. If they are all me, I will treat them like I would love to treat myself. And let's see what the mirror effect will make in my life. Let's see the results of my work. So I will not trust what somebody said. So I will not trust these words that you're hearing right now, but you will trust the evidence in your life that happens as the byproduct of the change you've embodied. And this is a big shift that happens every time you do something like that, because you start noticing changes. You see, most of your life you've been living unconsciously. You've been living on autopilot. You've been moving around completely programmed. And now you've started wondering, what would ascended master do in this situation? So you're beginning to realize that you are already a master. You just haven't trained yourself into really living like a master. And even a master has his or her teacher, which can be a higher master. And at some point in this hierarchy of consciousness, you come to God. God mode, right? Being like God, thinking like God, feeling like God. When you become God, everyone around you becomes God. Because they are still all one and the same being, living a different story. So I'm talking about this right now just to remind you of what you most probably feel, and some of you couldn't put it into words, but you feel it. The challenge with intuition at this point may be that many times we just can't explain what we feel, but then we hear some certain words that resonate with us, and we immediately experience connection to it. Like, yeah, that's how I feel. And there's a very beautiful frequency to all of that. It's an intense sense of compassion, firstly, towards you, Then interconnectedness make you feel like you feel connected to everything. So you experience a great sense of compassion for the life around you, for animals, plants, even air, space. You feel connected to all of that. And more you feel connected to it, more you feel what? More you feel unconditional. More you start noticing there is no condition here that would pull you away from love. There is no condition that would pull you away from God. It was all mind-made construct, right? So there's nothing that is really separating you. It was all mind-made with different agendas to put you into fearful state of consciousness, so you would be easily, controlled and manipulated. And you've started noticing, well, all this interconnectedness make you feel connected. And more you feel connected, more you feel a sense of compassion for the world around you, for things, beings, and life around you. And due to the expansion of compassion, you're noticing that, well, if you can love something, doesn't matter of its form, shape, color, or structure, then you're beginning to know what unconditional love truly means. You love it without conditioning it, like, I will only love you when you will be like this and like that. This was old concept, like, love needs to have certain conditions. Now in this evolution of your consciousness and understanding, you're beginning to realize there's no needed conditions for you to experience love. You just need to tap into it, awaken it, and become it. And once you become it, you learn the art of unconditional love. You recognize it was there all along. You've been kind of walking around it, not seeing it, because it's not something to be seen. It's something to be experienced. It's something to be felt, right? It's like an art, and today I'm sharing another painting with you. It's like an art. You don't really see the magic of it. You need to experience it. When you are observing a painting, it's not really what you're seeing. It's that you experience a sense of awe and maybe reverence or beauty, which is not really a logical thing. You can't logically think, oh, this color makes me feel so beautifully, so now I need to feel joy. You experience a connection with an artist who was creating it, and you may even feel a joy that the artist was experiencing when he was creating this artwork. And that's what makes you be in awe with the creation, because you understand, well, someone created it. And it doesn't make sense maybe how that other you created such a beautiful thing. And you develop a sense of reverence, maybe even a sense of love for it. Because you come across capability that maybe you don't realize how you would be capable of something like that. But then you start thinking, well, I am capable of something else. And maybe if I really put my heart and soul into it, someone else, while observing my work, may feel something like I'm feeling, and you get a sense of purpose. This is all interconnectedness, right? This is all the beauty of life, which really ascends you above logic. And not that logic is wrong or bad, it's important. Like when I'm painting, I need logic, like how to mix colors, what kind of brushes to use, how to prepare the canvas, where to start, and all of that. This is all logic. And I'm making these videos, like how to edit them, how to put everything together. It's all logic. It's great, but there's something above it, and it is guidance. And guidance is not out of me, it's in me. It's speaking to me right now. And even that voice, it has a deeper guidance. Like, Otherwise, there would be just random words. But these random words have meaning, they have connection. And then there's connection, like who's connecting the words. And there is a deeper connection. Who created thoughts, right? Who created information? And who created sound? And there's deeper connection, which is creation, the fundamental creation. And this is all the ascension that's happening. We're beginning to realize that we are not just here individuals experiencing some random life. We are actually source who is creating, constantly creating universes. Then if we go a bit lower on this hierarchy, these universes have created stars and planets. And then if we go a little bit lower on this hierarchy, on these planets, there's life. There's biological life. And if we go a little bit lower on this hierarchy, there's you and other animals and plants and everything you see around you. And if you go a little bit lower on this hierarchy, there's actually life happening, what we've created. So you see, we are still creating like the source that is creating universes. You're still creating things in your life. When you go at your job, you're doing something there. When you talk with others, you're doing something there. When you go to sleep, you're still doing something. Your body is doing something, right? And you're dreaming, traveling through the universes. So you see, you have the same position as the source, as God. Just that maybe your awareness of that was limited. But now as you're ascending, moving upwards on ascension level of awareness and consciousness, you're beginning to realize that you truly are connected to everything. And it's only a matter of choice, like what feeling you choose to feel more frequently. Because the feeling often determines everything. Like when you feel sad, you maybe make more sad choices. When you feel more joyful, you make greater choices. So it's really like if you're already a master here, how you choose to experience this day, and can you stay conscious of your choices, and can you see the pattern of where these choices will evolve if you stay conscious with them, like where this path will take you, and look at it as an experiment. Like when I'm making a painting, it's an experiment. I don't know if it will work out or not. I really don't know, but then it surprised me. Sometimes it surprised me the way that it doesn't work out. But then I make something else out of it, and I get surprised once again because I notice, oh, it was more incredible but different than I thought. So what if you would look at life this way at this point? Like, let's experiment, let's have a vision, let's make some plans, let's do things that really, really speak to you at this point. Focus on them. Don't allow distraction to pull you astray, but walk the path. Be focused. Stay aware. Do what really resonates with you. And stay so consistent with it as you're consistent with nurturing plants in your life, as you're consistent with nurturing your pet or your kids or your parents or your partner. Stay so consistent with that vision as you're consistent with everything else in your life. And you may be surprised where it will take you. God said, in order to make something happen, you need to keep thinking about it over and over and over again. And you need to think about it to such a degree that you can't not do anything else about it. If you really devotedly think about something you want to create in your life, at some point you will notice you can't just think about it, you also want to do something about it. And more you start doing something about it, more you start to feel excited for it. And excitement is already a sign that you are doing it right. Excitement will tell you something great is being born. It's like a breath of life, the spirit of creation. Follow it, my friend. Follow excitement that awakens in your heart when you do more of what you always wanted to do. But don't allow distraction. You see, the concept they made evil, it's not really something that come and possess you. It's a distraction that takes your attention away from where you were intending to go. Distraction, action away from where you wanted to go. This is the only evil you find. More you are distracting yourself, more you start to feel disoriented. More you feel disoriented, more you feel confused. More you feel confused, more you feel stressed. More you feel stressed, more you feel afraid. More you feel afraid, well, more you feel lost. More you feel lost, more you feel a lack of love, a lack of connection. And in these states, while people do weird things. So, if you feel lost, if you feel a lack of connection, firstly, design a path in your life. Set up what will you focus on. Set up what will you aim towards. Like God, firstly there was sound, right? Then there was light. Then it started creating stars and planets and life and everything. It's same with you. Take a piece of paper, write down things you will focus on. Write down life you want to live. Like a source, like a God. Create a life for you. Like, this will be my job. This will be my hobbies. This will raise my level of health. This will build greater relationships. This kind of people I will meet in my life. This is how much money I will make. This is what I will do in my free time. Write it down. Be precise. Walk like God. And then focus on it to such a degree that you will not be able not doing anything about it. And when opportunities and things and thoughts come that are not connected to it, that have nothing to do with this, whatever you've wrote down on a piece of paper, you know it's a distraction. You know it will not help you to get there. And then walk upon that path and see the magic happening in front of you. My friend, you're shifting. I hope you found great value in today's message. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. I hope you've enjoyed in today's painting as well. To anyone who would love to support my art, you can find it in our store, AttractPassion.com, or Etsy store, I Draw My Passion. You can find prints of my art, some of the original paintings, and also thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon community for more exclusive content. You're all truly appreciated. I love you all, my friends. Stay connected, stay aligned, and stay focused, because focus is what creates worlds, right? One love.